Hello and welcome to the Granite Spotlight, a short, focused conversational series where I highlight entrepreneurs, coaches, and creators who are building meaningful work and choosing their lives intentionally. I'm Sean Bradbury, life coach, speaker, and founder of Grounded in Granite. Today, I am joined by Lloyd Hecht. Lloyd is the founder of bestcardeals.com and a lifelong automotive industry expert with nearly 5 decades of experience in the automotive and vehicle data industries. After working inside the industry since 1978, Lloyd created Best Car Deals to help consumers buy vehicles with more confidence, clarity, and less stress. Through his proven 4 stages of every car deal framework, AI-powered tools, and real-world industry knowledge, he teaches people how to understand pricing, trade values, financing, and dealership paperwork before the pressure begins. Lloyd's philosophy is simple. He doesn't sell cars, he empowers people to buy smarter. Welcome, Lloyd. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Thanks for having me. I look forward to the conversation.
Not a problem, my friend. So let's start here, Lloyd. Can you please give us your story and what led you to what you're building today?
So I've been in the automotive industry one way or another since 1978. I started off doing aftermarket back in the late 70s and early 80s. Cars didn't even have radios in them. So that's how I got started installing, AM radios with one speaker in the center of the car. People that wanted an upgrade would get 2 speakers, or an 8-track player. That progressed into all the other things that get put in cars throughout the 90s, like CD changers and cell phones and alarm systems and keyless entries. Uh, in in 2000, I went to work for autotrader.com. And from 2000 through now, I've worked for companies that have been in the automotive advertising space or vehicle merchandising and marketing. In the last 4 years, I've actually worked for a vehicle data company. But all through my years in the industry, whenever a friend or family wanted to buy a car, because people equate having to buy a car like going to the dentist. That's the horrible experience. So I've helped many friends and family either by just introducing them to somebody that I knew or reviewing the deal they were going to do, just however I needed to help so that they felt good and comfortable that they were getting the right deal for the right price and they didn't feel like they were being ripped off. And I always knew there could be a business there. But, up until about 4 years ago, all my customers were dealers, and I didn't think that, they would be too happy with me having that kind of business. The deal, don't bite the hand that feeds you. But as I got closer to retirement age and then took this job that I'm in right now, where my customers are not dealers, but companies that serve dealers, I was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm going to build this business that helps people and helps them understand how to buy the car and feel good about it. And so that's really, I started working on it almost 4 years ago. I launched it almost a year and a half ago in February of 2025, as we're here now in June of 2026. So that's how bestcardeals.com got started and uh, turned into a real thing.
Nice. 2 things I got out of that. You talking about kind of the evolution of the car and all of the different things from the tape deck to the CD players and things like that. You pretty much took me from my childhood up until the present day because I was there through all those transitions. So that was a little bit of a journey there. I definitely like the fact that I do agree, even as a guy, I don't know much about cars, honestly. Um, and I know that you can have that apprehension and everything going to a car dealership. You're right. It's almost kind of like they have the bad rap of, am I going to get ripped off? What's really happening? So I think knowing somebody and being able to point someone in a direction or, have someone that put in contact with somebody, I'm sure is extremely beneficial to your clients.
Yeah, and originally I thought that uh, it's definitely women feel more intimidated than men. Uh, but even men don't know and I was asked recently, why do I feel, what reason do I think it's such a bad experience? And I think it's because it's something that's negotiated. It's not like walking into Home Depot and everything on the shelf has a price and you accept it and you walk up to the counter and you plunk it down and you scan it and you pay the price that it comes up and you don't even think twice about it. But everything at the dealership and the car buying process is negotiated, from the price of the car you're buying to your trade-in to the aftermarket products that you buy, like extended warranties, even the financing rates can be negotiated. So I think that's what makes it uncomfortable, is because I've always said for years while selling to dealers that I was selling to the most professional negotiators in this country. And I would just use their own tactics on them and play their own game with them. And then they'd laugh at me because they knew exactly how I was working them. But I think that's why it's such an uncomfortable experience, and there have been some dealer groups, and even the brand Saturn brand, before it went out of business, was a one price. Right, all Saturns were the exact same price. There was no negotiating on the price of a Saturn, but they were still negotiating the price of your trade-in. Were you going to buy an extended warranty, the financing? So there was still, a good part of the deal was negotiated. And like I said, there's this large dealer group in our country that advertises all used cars are one price, no negotiation. But there's still plenty of the deal that gets negotiated, which brings that uncomfortable feeling to it.
Yeah, you're right. I think there's all those little nuances of, okay, we're at this point, but now you have to worry about warranty. What's my trade-in? A lot of people go in there with the blue book, Kelly Blue Book value to kind of know what's going on. They kind of go with it like a ballpark, what they think it is. So they go in somewhat prepared. But I think it's those unexpected questions that they could get hit with that would kind of trip them up a little bit. Have you
Oh,
found that?
Yeah, well, it's interesting you brought up Kelly Blue Book. See, what most people don't realize, so there are different valuation books for wholesale, for trade-in pricing. Kelly Blue Book happens to be one of them. But there's NADA guides, there's JD Power, there's GALS, and Black Book, and a lot of them are regionalized around the country, and they have different pricing, different values for the same used car. So it depends on which book the dealer's using, and the big thing I used to hear dealers say when someone would come in and say, well, Kelly Blue Book says my car's worth 25. And they would say, okay, well, good. Then get Kelly Blue Book to write you a check. I'm the one that has to pay you for the car. So, so it's help. That's where I can come in and I can help people understand the difference between the wholesale value and a retail value of a used car, how the dealer comes up with their wholesale value. A lot of people like to look on the online classified sites like autotrader.com or cars.com or car gurus, and they look up their exact vehicle that they're trading in. They see, oh, it's a 23 Toyota Highlander and it's selling for $25,000. It has similar mileage. And a lot of people in their mind I should get 25,000. But if that's what the dealers are selling it for, they didn't pay that for it. So I explain all of that, and how the dealer comes up with it. Even the time that it's in a dealer's inventory makes a difference. So there's a lot to understand, and I feel that when someone works with me, I can help them understand. I break it down into 4 parts: the car you're going to buy, the trade-in value, all the things that happen in the finance office, when they try and sell you everything, gap insurance, the life insurance, the warranty, the maintenance plans, your key replacements, and tire and wheel repair, and then the final stage of once everything's decided, what's on the paperwork. So help breaking that down and providing the tools to help monitor that helps make the experience a better one and something that people feel more comfortable with. And dealers deserve to make money. Not in business to beat the dealers up and hope they don't make money. Everybody has to make money. That's why we all work, right? But you want it to feel fair, and you want it to be fair for both sides. And like I tell customers or clients, that the dealer's not going to make a deal that is bad for them. So if you negotiate something and they accept it and you're on a level playing field with them and they they're happy.
Yeah, they're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart, right? I mean,
Correct.
so let's be honest about that. But I like that because it's on some level you're empowering the people with the knowledge and it's creating like a level playing field to go in there to be able to negotiate.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. That's good. And I didn't know that about Kelly Blue Book either. So I learned something today as well.
Yeah.
So what are you currently focused on right now? Is there anything we should know about that you're working on?
No, so I've been, like I said, live for 16, 17 months now, and I'm evolving. It's funny how I thought 2 or 3 years ago, before I even went live and I built my first web pages, how cool they were. And I look back at those and I was like, oh my God, those were so terrible. And now I look at what I have now, and I thought 6 months ago, I thought, oh, these are awesome. And now I'm saying to myself, oh boy, they could be so much better. So I'm learning from working with people on how the process is better for like clients, on how to work with them. I originally was only going to have online courses and realized I have to talk to the people and go through their individual situation with them. Now, that's not scalable, but I'm not looking to build a super scalable business that I'm looking to just sell off to somebody at some point. So if I ever get to the point where it has to be able to scale more, I'll figure that out at that time. But right now I can handle talking to plenty, enough people, and more than enough than I have right now. So it's constantly evolving to just make it better for the client experience, and me learning to make it better, and like upgrading. The technology changes things so often too. So
Yeah, we definitely know that.
yeah.
Yeah, Lloyd's videos are incredible. I've watched his journey of evolution, and he does a great job with the AI aspect of it as well. So, and I also love the fact that it's the communication part of it, right? Like, yeah, I can put a website up, I can give you instructions and maybe even some training videos. But I think there's something about the connection to be able to hop on a call with Lloyd and say, hey, I don't understand this. Can you walk me through this? Or just to have that human connection and contact. I think that's what really makes this special.
Yeah, and so I realized, like, my lead magnet, which I call my stress-free car buying blueprint, gives you all the things we just spoke about a few minutes ago, and that's all the what, all the things you need to know. But just by looking through that, you're not going to know the how of how to do everything you need to do. And now my courses explain that, but I know I'm a visual learner. When somebody goes through and walks through something with me, I learn it faster by somebody teaching me than having to just read through a manual. So that was one of the determinations, to add the personalized service to it. And then I give all, once they sign up and we do our one-on-one, then they get access to all the courses I've built, because then it'll all make more sense to them because we've talked about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that process and how you're thinking it through, because I'm very visual too. And I would definitely much rather have a conversation and try to figure it out like that. So that's such good stuff. Lloyd, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for your time and being on here.
No, thanks for having me. These things are fun, and we've met through the training programs we've both gone through for building a business, and we've made a lot of good friends through that, and it's just a fun journey. Something I never expected a few years ago.
Yeah, I will agree with that. That we've our journey has been kind of parallel through Mastermind and other places. And you're right. I've gone places I never expected, and I've met some incredible people. To your
Yeah,
point,
we've met people we would have never met in our lives.
this is so true.
Yeah.
So if this conversation resonated with you, please feel free to reach out to Lloyd or myself. You can also leave a comment or a question below. As always, thank you for joining us today. A life you want is built one choice at a time. Take care.